Alright everyone, since the new Pet Semetary comes out next week, I might as well review the original Pet Semetary and review Pet Semetary 2. And this is a good excuse to rewatch the original Pet Semetary and the second one because I've only seen them both once and I enjoyed them both. So this was a fun new thing to do, to rewatch these since I've only seen them one time. And the Pet Semetary, the original, whenever I watched it for the first time, I thought it was good. I thought it was solid. And honestly, again, watching it again, I feel the same way. Like, I think this has a lot of effective things in it. But it's not like one of those movies that's, like, incredible and, like, everything's fantastic about it. But there's some really great things about it. But there's also some really cheesy things. Starting out at the beginning of the movie, the acting at the beginning of the movie is really over the top and really cheesy, and in a way where I didn't like it first, except for Fred. I liked Fred because his voice is very, very like this. Like, he talks very funny, like in a way, not like funny to disrespect his voice, but in a way where he sounds like that on purpose, and I did really like his performance. But as the movie went along, some of the acting got better. It just was weird at the beginning. It kind of put a bad taste in my mouth because it was so cheesy in a way where I just didn't understand it. And some of the movie does have cheesy moments throughout, lines like that, but like at the beginning it felt like the most apparent. So that, and I really liked how this movie, based on the book, I mean, the book is the idea of the movie, but I love how this is such an interesting, unique idea where, like, there's an Indian burial ground, and, like, or an Indian graveyard, and, like, you bury somebody in the Pet Semetary, and it comes back. It comes back dead and alive. Like, it's not truly alive, it's dead, but it's inanimate. Like, I mean, it's an animate thing now. It can talk, it can walk. Anything that you put in this, bury in this, it'll come back to life. So I thought that was really cool. And I thought that it's awesome that the dad character, like, he puts Church in there, who's the cat, and the cat comes back, and this cat is demonic and evil, and I thought this cat was actually really effective and really creepy. And I like how the movie goes along and gets more and more crazy, where he has to keep bringing back, like, it's a ridiculous idea that this character would do this thing, go to this graveyard, knows what'll happen, and does it a couple times. But, and they do it in the second one too, but I think that it's interesting, despite it being ridiculous. And I really like how the mom character, how she had a sister named Zelda who choked herself out and died, and she had like a disease and like a problem. I forgot what the real definition of what her disease was, but like she looks like an old person, and like she's really demonic and creepy before she's dead, but then she comes back kind of, and it's interesting, and I did like that, and I really love that scene with the mom talking about her sister Zelda and how she died, and she was saying like, now mom and dad are gonna think that I choked her and killed her because I hated her, which is true. And I really like that moment with the mom character. That was actually a really effective moment, and actually maybe one of the best scenes in the movie. And so, like I said, the dad put Church the cat in and brought him back, but he does that with Gage because Gage, who's his youngest kid, gets killed by the semi, which the semi in this movie is ridiculous because it, like, every single time it cuts to them outside, the freaking semi passes every time. Like, literally every second in the movie that they're outside, the semi will pass a couple times, which is crazy. I mean, or not crazy, but it's just annoying how much they do it. But it's kind of like they're pushing the line too far of like, oh, we know someone's gonna die because it's so crazy on this road, so we're gonna show you the semi 20 million times go passing the house, which is just kind of annoying. And anyways, with Gage, whenever Gage gets killed, that actually is really effective because Gage, the kite, like, gets away from him, so he's this like 2-year-old kid, runs out into the road, and you see, even though he didn't actually get hit, but that semi gets right up at him, and then it cuts, and then you see the camera and kind of blood flies on the side. It is actually really incredibly effective with Gage getting killed. and his shoe flies and you just see it slow-mo fly onto the pavement with some blood on it. That actually is really effective without showing it. But they kind of ruin it because then the dad goes, no! And like it's so it just ruined that moment for me. Like it was so bad. I was just like, what? No. Like the dad character I didn't mind. A lot of people don't like him. I thought he was fine, but that moment I didn't like. I was like, come on, no. Like that ruined the moment of like sadness for that kid getting killed. And I do love the fact that this movie, again, like the dead come back to life, but they are even more, like they are insane when they come back. And I love the fact that this works incredibly well in this movie, and I think this is one of the biggest positives is that Gage, the child Miko Hughes plays, is terrifying whenever he comes back. He legitimately is frightening. He is disturbing and scary, and the way he like slashes Fred's mouth open right here side to side and like slashes his Achilles tendon, and like whenever he's got the final fight with the dad, it is fantastic, and it is, that acting is incredible from that like 3-year-old kid. And Miko Hughes of course went on to do a million other things which as a kid which I love. Like he was in New Nightmare, which he's great in New Nightmare as well, and he was also in stuff like Full House. Like I remember seeing him as a kid in that. He was just a great child actor, and he's really fantastic in this movie, and I really love him. And it's just a great ending, and I love the ending too about how the wife gets killed by Gage as well, and then it ends with like the father using like putting her in the graveyard or in the cemetery and like bringing her back, and then she kills him, and that's how it ends. But you would have expected that guy, like the only explanation he had was like she hasn't been dead long enough, so that means she'll come back normal. Bullshit. Seriously. But that I like that ending though. I did like how it did end on that moment of like he's dead, everybody's dead except for the daughter, because she's referenced in part 2. But I liked that a lot, and I loved how they had a Ramones song at the end, which they made for the movie called Pet Semetary. That's a great song. Really love that song. So this movie, while it's got great things about it, I really like some of the performances. I really think that some of the moments are really effective. Gage is really effective. Some of the gore is effective, even though you don't see much. I mean, like whenever Fred gets like slashed in the face, side, like in the mouth, side by side, or in the Achilles tendon, like that is great. But then the acting a lot of the time is over the top and goofy, and some of the scenes are really stupid, and like it's a weird mix between stupid and really good. Like it's a weird in between. So this one I think is fine. I do enjoy it. I do enjoy some things about it a lot, but it's just not one that I love. Definitely not. I wonder how that remake is going to hold with this one. So I'm really interested to see what I think of the remake, and I'm excited to talk about Pet Sematary 2, because honestly, watching that, like the last time I watched it, I thought it was actually underrated in how silly it was. It was a fun, silly time. So this one overall I enjoyed, and I can't wait to talk about the next one, which again I enjoyed as well in a way. Neither of these are great movies, but they're entertaining in some aspects, so I thought they were both fine. Tell me down below what you think of the original 1989 Pet Sematary, and thank you guys so much for watching.